fun. And there goes our safety car, being followed by the 14 drivers. I'm pretty sure that is only 14 drivers because I'm in the lobby as well. 14 drivers in total on this track. I mean, pretty big for this track, but you know, for other tracks it's very small. But it's fine. I'm expecting it to be good action up front between Gruval and who's that by him? Sam. Good old Sam. Also from the UK. So it is the UK versus the Netherlands for today's race. And for our two Porsches at the back, I think it is the French. Let's just go check. No, that's the wrong person. Show me where these two are from. Pretty sure I saw the French flag on Vilo's little thing. Yeah, okay, there's a little French flag on his rear spoiler. And then Spooky, where is Spooky from? I don't know where Spooky is from. It's not even telling me. We might as well show it from let's go from Sam's perspective. Here we go for the 100 miles of Lime Rock. And they're actually starting. Okay, so Gruval starting what looks like I feel a bit early, because now there is a big gap. He's trying to run away with this fast, so he doesn't have to have the worry of a certain Sam breathing down his neck. Pretty understandable. I wouldn't want to have a Sam breathing down my neck either, but it looks like that's what he's going to do, because he may be catching up a little bit. It is Porsche versus BMW. Porsche versus Porsche. Ooh, little lockup. Teeny tiny lockup. And so while I wait for these two to get closer, by Spooky, it looks like Spooky is getting chased by Swin. So Swin is chasing Spooky. BMW versus Porsche here. And Swin makes a little mistake and he falls a bit behind. But let's go over to Duan and Valve. Duan and Valve are fighting both in the BMW. They are actually teammates. So a teammate fight. Let's see, will Valve ban this man for being ahead of him? Well, I don't know, maybe. Let's have a look here, it is pretty close. Valve takes a wider line, I don't think that helped. It might have, I don't know. Looks like he's lost a bit of time there. Let's go look up at our front runners, and it's getting close. Sam has caught up to Gruval just a little bit, but not by much. If he can get a good exit through these two last corners here, he could get him down the straight with that all holy slipstream. Ooh, and he did look like he had a better exit there, but it is not enough. Let's go look over at our Porsches. They are getting very close to each other, and Velo actually has a 1.2 second penalty. Not great, I would imagine. And Swin is still quite close, so it is a three-way battle here for third. Let us take away the map just so the screen isn't so cluttered. Look at the time intervals here. Yeah, all very close to each other. Our little snake. A snake consisting of three cars. Okay, so Spooky really pulled away through the chicane there from Swin. Velo also pulled away from Spooky. So that gap is opening up. Let us have a look at our top one. No? Yeah? Drivers at the front. Okay, that's what it is. Gruval is still keeping some space between them. I would imagine that is what he wants, but ooh, he goes a little wide, and Sam had a look, but that would not have been a good idea. But Sam has gotten closer, and Gruval actually takes a bit of grass and goes wide. So Sam is right on him now. And he could go for an overtake if he now gets two good exits. It's all about those two good exits. Oh, entry matters as well, but you know, everyone loves a good exit. Looks pretty equal for them through there. Let's see through here. They both look pretty much on the same page through those last two corners, but Gruval has pulled a bit ahead. Sam, though, has the fastest lap time of 51.4, and he's only 5 tenths behind, so not too far away. Let's go check on our Porsche battle, which, yeah, they've created some distance between each other. At about, yeah, okay. Let's go check on our teammate battle. Who has come out on top? Okay, so Valve is in 7th. Where is his teammate? Duan is his teammate. So Duan has actually escaped from Valve a little bit, but in turn, he has gotten a pretty hefty penalty time. Let us see that penalty time, if you would, game. Actually, I gotta go to the back. I just noticed something with the timing. Who is Nods close to? Nods is actually battling a Ferrari. Who is the Ferrari that he is battling? Is Mick. So Mick versus Nods here. Ferrari versus Chevrolet, as you'd expect from AM class. There is only 2 car makes. Ooh, and he gets very close. Didn't go for that move though, and that lost him a bit of time. He does get a little closer in the braking, and that Corvette is very, very stable, so if you make a mistake in the Ferrari, expect yourself to go drifting. Especially on this track, the oversteer is very obvious in the Ferrari, but it's not a bad thing, because the Ferrari is very fast. You're kind of trading the chance, or you have the chance to spin, but you're faster. In the Ferrari, in the Corvette, you're pretty much safe, but the car is, I feel, a little slower. But you know, it's fine. They're both keeping it pretty equal on the entries and exits. And I think Nods gets very close and goes a bit wide. I think that is on the track limit, so I don't know if he get a penalty for that or not. But he is very close. He is looking to the inside, but Mick covers it. So you would expect that. But he is really, really wanting this position. Now, I'm not too sure where this is in AM. Ooh, and he just touches the Ferrari. Might be looking to the inside for a move here. Yes, he is. But he is not going to go for it. Bouncing over those curbs, so satisfying. It is a very satisfying corner to get right, especially when you go fast through it. These two are keeping it very close. I think these are our closest drivers on track. And I guess that's what you expect from AM. AM always has some great action. Keeping it real close. The Ferrari does have a 5% power cut, just to help the Vet keep up in the straights. Let us go check on our drivers all the way at the front in GTE Pro. Ooh, wait a second. Sam UK has fallen behind. I don't know what he did, but he has fallen behind Velo and has lost a ton of time. And Velo goes very wide. Might get a penalty for that. So it is now Sam's job to catch up to Velo and pass him. And I guess now it is either catch up to Gruwel if he can, or hold that second position till the end of the race. It's a hard task. It is now a Porsche sandwich. He is stuck between 2 Porsches. Which, I don't know, that's not a problem. Porsches are great. Everyone loves Porsches. Even if you don't. Secretly somewhere in your mind, you would love a Porsche. Do fighting. This is all I can say. Let us head back to Nods, who actually passed Mick in the time I was looking at the Porsche sandwich. I hate that I do that. I always miss the overtakes. I'm sure it was a great overtake. And here is our driver in last, the absolute goat of Purpose Racing, DJ. I would hope he's watching the stream, so you know, you can see if there's a massive crash on the track. Our Porsche sandwich has not changed much, keeping a steady gap between each other. And Gruwel looks to be running away with it. Good for him, but Velo looks like he's slowly catching. I do not know. Swin has the fastest lap time of 51.3, which is just a bit faster than Gruwel's Fastest lap time is what that looks like. Velo is 2 seconds behind, and Sam is 7/10 behind Velo. See what's going on with Valve. Valve is all by himself in 7th place. Let's check on Mini over here, as Mini is not having much happening with him. Also, just like Valve, sitting there, having his own race, chilling. Always ideal, you know, you can chill, you can have a nice chill race. And I think Ewan is our leader in GTE AM, and Law is in second. Ooh, Ewan goes a little wide, and Law actually overtakes him through that first corner. So our fight for first in GTE AM is ramping up to the stars. Sideways is also getting very close, so we have another sandwich here. Ooh, and Ewan goes very wide, so clearly making some unfavorable mistakes. And he is now dropped back into third. So very unfortunate for him, but fortunate for Sideways. Now Sideways is in second, and if he can go chase Law down. Law has clean air, go as fast as he wants. He does have pressure. The pressure is not right on him, but it's there. And if it's there, there's always a possibility it can happen. Let's go check on Mick. So Mick is now having a race of his own all the way at the back. So he's also chilling. And our safety car is actually left, so if there's a big crash, we won't be having our safety car anymore. That's alright. Go check on Duan. Is anything happening with Duan? He's close to someone. Who is that? Swin. Swin has done our fastest lap time of the race. But Swin is a bit behind everyone else. Also in place of his own. Our Porsche sandwich is gone, I think. No, there it is. So the Porsche sandwich is still a thing. So, you know, Porsche sandwich for the rest of the race? I don't know, maybe. Hopefully they could get fighting so we can have more cars join the big battle for second. Not this much battle, it's kind of just a chase. Who can chase down who? Sam, originally starting in second, has dropped down to third due to a mistake that I did not see. I did not see the mistake he made. Assuming it's probably going wide at the last corner. Ooh, Mick is going to retire from the race there. Okay, so that is Mick retiring from the race. Putting up the white flag to give up to the enemy forces. And now Nods is sitting in last for GTE AM. But he won't finish last because, you know, the other guy was DNFing. You know what I mean. Okay, currently we have a very good black screen right there. Okay, there we go, we are back. Nods is by himself here as well. Let's go check on the fight for first year, and it is Sideways and Log who are going to be fighting each other for first. This is going to be an interesting battle, I think. Sideways was fighting Nods in Sebring, and they were both chasing me till the end of the Sebring race. Luckily I got the win in Sebring, and then I quit after Sebring. You know, just like the last time I raced in this league, I quit after Sebring. The Sebring curse is clearly looming down on me. Law makes a little mistake there, and goes wide. So Sideways is catching him quite a bit, and is putting him under pressure. This should be good. Does not take much curve. Yeah, I notice it seems like the AM drivers lose a bit of time on that last corner. I was really escaping from Law in the practice session. Oh, and Law goes very wide, trying to keep the car on the road, and he loses that position to Sideways. I don't know if that was pressure or just a mistake, but that is a mistake I can see myself having in that Ferrari, just because of its oversteer. So pretty unexpected, but it can happen. But as long as you can control it, it's a very fast car. But he did not manage to tame it this time, and Sideways moves up into first. Law is going to try and scramble to gain all their time back to go and pass Sideways if he can. But for now, it looks like the battle for first is over until later. Let's go check on our pro drivers to see if there's been any developments. Ooh, and Sam, who's fallen even further behind, is now in front of Mini. But I don't know what happened to him. He's been making quite a few mistakes, and he somehow landed himself all the way at the back. I mean, well, not all the way at the back. All the way at the back of the Porsches? Yeah. I think that's like all the way at the back of the Porsches. Yeah, okay, so there's all the way at the back for the Porsches only, but does not mean he's lost in GT Am. He is just 6th overall, which actually I think is 6th in GT Pro. I assume so. Should be how that works. Yeah, making some unfortunate mistakes and losing a lot of time. He is far behind our nearest driver, which is Valve, and Valve is still enjoying his time in 5th. Nice and comfy race. I like a comfy race. I just do not understand how Sam has managed to put himself all the way back in 6th. He was fighting for 2nd after he made a mistake while in 2nd, and now he's fighting for 6th, or fighting to keep 6th, I would imagine, because he was just ahead of Mini, which I'm presuming he passed Mini after Mini passed him, after he made a mistake, or it's Sam making a mistake and then almost getting past my Mini, just defending that position. So Swin is still in 4th. Well, he's moved up because of the unfortunate mistake from Sam. So it is just Swin fighting to get up to 3rd. The Porsche in front of him, which is Spooky with that nice livery. Always liked how that livery looked on track anywhere, any day. It looks like he is going to have a pretty lonely race as well. And Velo also by himself and up ahead. What is going on up ahead? Oh, and I did say early into the race I expected someone to be lapped, and that is Ewan being lapped. And he slowed down a little bit, but not much, not that it matters. He is soaring into the distance right now. Ewan actually catching up to that corner there. Let's see how Velo handles this back marker here. The Iron Lynx team driver, who is making his team proud, I'm sure of it. And Velo starting in 3rd. Yeah, he's moved his way up to 2nd, so one position change is good enough. And unfortunately for Sam, he has lost 4 positions. Is coming up on Ewan. I would presume he would try and pass him through here, because yeah, it's going to lose quite a bit of time. You don't necessarily have to get out of the way. You'd have to stick to the outside line if you are about to be lapped. But I mean, if you're fighting someone else, then I don't know. That is the Iron Lynx driver, who is now going to be back on the chase for 1st. Let's go check on Valve. Valve, who often has lonely races. You know, every time I spectate him in a race, he's usually just out there by himself. Hopefully he... No, I'm not going to commentate his curse. We don't want that. What I will mention is how many times I've seen him mess up while spectating him near the end of the race. In Monza, he was 3rd, and he went wide and lost a pretty big chunk of positions. That's one I will remember most, is Monza. But I mean, I can't say he won't do it here, otherwise he might. Everyone knows about commentator's curse, the worst kind of curse you could put on a driver. So I'll just say he can go on his merry way. Spooky has now made his way past the Am driver. Let's head to the front of Am, which sideways is still leading in Am, and Groeval has just set the fastest lap of a 51.195. So that is the fastest lap set on this track that was not from practice. I'm pretty sure the fastest lap set in practice was just a tiny bit faster. But that was just practice, and not practice like official practice session, just practice by themselves. So if we are counting ones done in official sessions, then Kruval has just done the fastest time. I'm sure he will appreciate that extra point if he can keep that fastest lap time. So Law, it seems like he's caught up a teeny tiny bit to Sideways, and he's gonna hope that Sideways makes a mistake so he can reclaim that first position. I think he'll want a win after disconnecting in Sebring, giving me a very easy one. Let's see. So, ooh, I just catch him as soon as he does a little lockup, and Mini is a little close behind. Sam still up in 6th, and he's actually catching up to Valve, so Valve might just have to fight for his life here if he wants to keep that 5th, because Sam is catching him. Let's see how this fight goes. I don't feel great. Not the greatest time to not feel great, but it's fine. I'll survive. Maybe. What is the gap? The gap is 1 second. That's now below a second. So he is rapidly catching Valve. So Valve's gonna be feeling the pressure. He's gonna be going as fast as he can. And he gets a pretty okay exit, but clips the grass a bit. He's gonna be wanting to run as fast as he can, being chased by the Samster, who is still keeping a consistent distance. And Valve going a little bit wide there. Kruval keeping it consistent there. Which, he has extended that gap a tiny bit. It's now 2.7 seconds, and Sam is 6/10 away from Valve. So Valve has really got to start feeling the pressure. Like I said just earlier, he's gonna have to defend for his life. He's being chased down by the guy. I'm sure he wants vengeance. The mistakes he has made. Valve going a little bit wide. I assume that's from the pressure. Everyone hates the pressure. Oh, getting close. I like me a good fight, but I suspect it won't last very long. Ooh, Sam has a little look, but Valve is not gonna have it. He's gonna have to make the most out of his exit here. Is he going to defend the inside? No, he is not. They both get a pretty good entry and exit out of that chicane. But Sam is now 3/10 behind and closing in. He's going to get a slipstream down the main straight here, which is always beneficial. Elo has gained a little bit of time in Kruval since we last saw it. Okay, so Sam losing a bit of time there. Ooh, and Valve. I think Valve might have just given that position to him. He didn't want to fight. So either Valve went wide, trying to defend it, or he decided just to give that position. Yeah, Sam was catching him pretty fast. Wanted to avoid any potential mistakes. We are nearing the halfway point through the race, and I do not know the pit window. I will just have to check the pit window. The pit window, the first pit window was lap 10 to 16. Nobody appears to have taken that pit window. And the pit window B is lap 53 to 68. Okay, so drivers are really gonna have to protect their fuel. I don't know about tires, but saving fuel is, I'd say, most important in this game. Because the pit window only opens in lap 53. And I remember how intense the or the fuel saving was in Sebring. It's pretty scary. go check on the back. Let's go to sideways. Ooh, I'm not seeing Law anymore. I think Law has disconnected. It appears that Law has disconnected once again. Oh man. He's having terrible luck. See, is Mini being chased by anyone? No, no. See, sideways, being chased down by Gruval. He is either gonna move out of the way. I mean, he doesn't have anyone close behind him, so yeah, you can just move out of the way. Or you can block through Gruval, so Velo can get closer. That would be nice. Aw, man. Alright. Sideways did not... Ooh, what the hell? He did not decide to block Gruval to make the stream great, but you know, it's fine. I'm definitely not sad about it. Definitely not. Ow. Ooh. Whoa. Whoa. Valve has caught up to Sam quite a bit there. He was 6/10 behind when I saw the leaderboard. I think he might have made another mistake. Or Valve was just keeping up with him really well. Oh, Sam's gonna lock up a bit. And Valve is gonna catch up to him. He's being blocked by the back marker. So Valve has to get a good exit here, otherwise he won't get that chance either ever again or in a long time. He is right on him though. Right on him. And right in front of him is a back marker. Not ideal, I think. Ooh, he could go for the inside if he wants to. No, he's not going to risk it. He's rather going to wait for him to go wide, and there he does it. Valve fighting for that 5th position. He is on the inside, though it's just going to be the outside. He's going to have to give up that position. And Ewan really just getting in the way of their fighting here. Which honestly is great, and Valve goes pretty wide, which might get a penalty from. But he did not seize that opportunity to get past Sam, and I don't think he'll be getting that opportunity anytime soon. I'd say a bit of a missed opportunity, but what can you do when the Samster is ahead of you? That rhymes. Right, yeah, so I think that is it for the battle for 5th. Valve got past for just a little bit, but had to give up that position. Otherwise, he would have been on the outside. And we just see Ewan sliding in the background. Let's go check on Mini. I thought I saw Mini close to someone earlier. It was Duan, but I think Duan has run away from Mini. Yeah, Mini is there all the way in the distance, 6.7 seconds behind. It's all pretty split at the moment. Nobody is really too close to each other. I think Velo has lost a bit of time. Yeah, Velo is now 3 seconds behind Fruval. Let's go check where Sam is. So Sam's still being chased, I guess, by Valve. Good old Valve. Gas valve. Water valve. Every valve you can think of. But I do not think you'll be able to keep up with the Samster. Samster is gonna run away with it. And he's gonna try and get up to 4th. How far away is he from 4th? I would be interested to know. It's pretty close. Swin and Spooky are pretty close at 13 seconds. Gonna either take a really long time to catch up, or he's going to settle down in 5th there. Let us go to Swin, who is only about a second and a bit behind. He just lapped sideways. Yeah, he's only about a second behind, so he is closer than anyone else is to, well, anyone else. So this could be a battle. Love that Twitch livery. Always looks good. That's a livery worth winning. Winning a 3rd place, I think. But he is also competing with the livery of that Porsche down there. Porsche in front of him. A Porsche that is blocking him and his success for his team. So I guess from his perspective, it would be an evil Porsche. How far is the... How... oh, no. You're not going to give me the gap? I wasn't looking. I didn't see the gap. Yeah, Law commenting on his disconnect. Video. So it looks like Sideways can sort of just walk away to a very easy victory for him. The nearest person is Nods, and Nods is quite far away. Well, not too far, you know. If Sideways makes a mistake like spinning, then he can catch up pretty easily, I would imagine. Let's go to Duhan. Duhan is having his own little race. He just lapped Ewan. So I think that is the entire... okay, no, there's almost the entire field that has lapped Ewan now. Otherwise, I think they have already lapped Ewan. No, I don't know. I'm confused, mentally confused. So there is Gruval, who is leading this race. He's been having quite a comfortable lead since the beginning. No one has been quite challenging him. Unfortunately for Sam, he was challenging until I don't know what kind of mistake he made. Still like to know. I should be able to get in the replay because replays are only lasting 24 minutes, but I should have enough time to see what kind of mistake was made. Hit the Spooky. I remember there being someone close to Spooky. It was Swin. The Swin Spooky fight, but it looks like that gap has opened up to 2.5 seconds. And Velo keeping it at a consistent distance. He is now 2.8, so he's gained 2/10 since the last time we saw him. As of right now, nothing interesting is going on tracks. Kind of just drivers lapping, which is what you can expect from endurance racing. Sort of just a lapping simulator until the end. Which I mean is a bad thing. It's nice. Ooh. Oh, I'm not too sure what Ewan is doing. But he is going a little wide. I just hop on board. Ooh, and that is Ewan either giving up or trying to brake really late. I don't know what he was trying to achieve there. But he is being caught up by some drivers from behind. Do not quite know who they are. No. I think it's Mini. And who was just behind Mini? Oh, Mini actually got lapped by Gruval there. Okay, so we have our first pro car getting lapped by other pro cars, and Velo is now also catching him. So Velo has lost some time to Gruval and is now 3.3 seconds. Gruval is catching up to someone else. Who might that be? It is Ewan. So Ewan getting lapped for, I think that is the second time. He's been enjoying himself, I hope, having his own little race. Who is up over here? This is Spooky, okay. Yeah, so Spooky, I guess, was sort of being chased by a car behind, Swin. But Swin has lost some time, and I think that is a battle over. It'll be interesting to see how things go down in the pits, because that is when it matters. Ooh, Ewan going a little wide. Sort of fighting our race leader. Totally unnecessary, I think. Ooh, And he touches the grass and goes very wide. I think he might have gone into the wall there. Whoopsies. Yeah, he has hit the wall. And I don't know if he got any damage from that. Damage, let's check. He has not gotten any damage, but he has 45% fuel left. We should actually be checking how much fuel a driver has. Let's go up to Gruval and see his fuel amount. So Gruval only has 29% fuel. Does he know you can only put on lap 53? I would assume he knows. He should really be saving his fuel. I'm not sure he's gonna make it to the pits. And let's see what's happening with Velo over here. Velo has 38% fuel, so he's been fuel saving a lot, and it's been working out. So I think he can probably start pushing. He is now lapping Mini. Mini, I think, is our only pro driver to be lapped so far during the race. Oh, whoops. I dropped my microphone. So, I guess that's why he's been losing time. He's been trying to save his fuel. I imagine he can start pushing it now. That is obviously up to him. And Sam actually sets the fastest lap there, 51.144. I think that is the fastest lap ever set on this track by the drivers here. Let's go check on Sam. Let's see how close he is to the nearest driver. He has 61% fuel, so I think he might have pitted his car early due to damages, I assume. Otherwise, you know, it would be impossible for him to have that much fuel. He will still have to pit on lap 53, sorry, not that. Terrible English. And English is my first language. Whoops. Yeah, so he will have to pit lap 53 anyway, but who is he inching closer to? And so, let's see. So he's supposed to be chasing Swin, and he has gained 3 seconds on Swin, I guess since the last time we saw him. So he is inching closer every lap. And maybe by the end of this race, he could be having a fight for 4th. It's going to be lapping Sideways. Sideways is our leader in AM. Let's go check on Valve. Let's see what's been happening with Valve. Valve has 24% fuel. Wow, I think that's just as much as what Gruval has. Oh god, what was that? Okay, so they both have the same amount of fuel, so I don't know how they're gonna save fuel. They do still have a few laps to go. I guess the laps aren't very long. We go to Duin, and then it's the second time we've went to Duin and we've seen him locking up in the same place. I seem to be putting a bit of a curse on him, and he does have 3% engine damage. Beware of the shifting, I guess, and he goes a little wide there. I think I'm giving him bad luck by spectating him. I'm gonna stop doing that. Let us go to let's see. Let's hop on board with Velo. I'm gonna just hop on board with him. Let's take away our damage and stuff. And turn your volume up, I guess, and listen to the Porsche. I'm gonna go quiet for a little bit so you can watch a lap or two of the Porsche going around. Right here. That is my little bit of silence over. Let's us head to Gruwel, so you can have a look at Gruwel's lines and what he's doing, if he's even saving fuel, because I don't know what he's quite doing in the fuel department. He is catching nods. He's gonna lap the driver for that team, whatever that team is called. I'm sure it's a great team. Looks like a great team. Is the Irish driver. He goes a little wide. So I think that oh yeah, it looked like he almost went to pits, but he is giving the line to Gruwel. And it seems to be a reoccurring problem with every BMW I spectate, that they seem to be disappearing for no reason. Let's have a look at how close Sam is. So Sam has not gained much time to swim, but he has gained time. And actually, Spooky is getting close to Velo. Ooh, and he's going for a move on Velo. So Velo is definitely saving a lot of fuel, which I'm definitely unnecessary. Wait, what am I doing? Off, give me damage. Now, so Spooky still has a good amount of fuel, and for some reason, for some reason, Velo has slowed down a bunch. He is slowing down a lot, and I don't know why. It says he has no damage, but I think he hit something really hard, and he's gotten 100% damage everywhere. The game is just not telling me, so unfortunately, I think that is his race over, because he's still gonna have to put on lap 53. Wow. I keep missing everything. I'm presuming that he got 100% damage from something. That's why he was going so slow. Even though the game is not telling me that, I'm assuming that's what happened. And so Valve now moves up into 5th. And Sam is now in 4th. So there's no catching up required, I guess. But there is still that 3rd place for grabs, I guess. So it appears that, I don't know what it appears as. I don't even know anymore. I don't know what's going on. I think the Porsche drivers have a bit of a curse on this track, you know. They've been making mistakes that's either given them a lot of damage or lost them a ton of positions, which, you know, this has lost him a ton of positions. I think he's second last in his class now, and I think it is not possible for him to catch up, because he's... Oh my god, what the hell? I think that is Sideways, who's just spun and hit the wall. And he is putting early as well. So that is a big mistake from him. And so he's gonna get a penalty from that. Or not, because he had to put. But I think he has to put again on lap 53. So he's completely lost it there. And he's slowing down for all the incoming drivers. Where is our boy? So now Nods is ahead of Sideways by quite a long bit. So I think that is a big mistake by Sideways, just touching the grass, I imagine, on the outside and losing and hitting the wall. The pit entry wall very hard, got a ton of damage and was forced to pit. And as I imagine, you will need to pit on lap 53 as well. I don't think he knows that. He might. But even if he doesn't, he'll get a penalty for it. And I think he'll be far ahead enough for that penalty to not affect him. Sure, he is going to be scrambling to gain as much time as he can to Nods, so that penalty doesn't affect him. I'm not so sure how big the penalty is for missing or not doing the pit window. And he's actually overtaking the pro car. Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I guess it happens sometimes. And what is going on? A Spooky, I think, has made a mistake and he's damaged something, because he is very slow. He's losing a ton of positions, and Sam is now up into third. What the hell is going on for the Porsches this race? Well, the Porsches seem to be making mistakes that are losing them a ton of time. Yeah, he's definitely got big damage. And he can put this lap. So I don't really know why he's not. Okay, I'm assuming it's only lap 53 from now. Yeah, there's only lap 53 from now, so he's gonna have to deal with whatever is going on. Oh, his front tires. Look at his front tires. They are messed up. I don't know what happened to his front tires, but they are completely gone. So that is what losing him. That is what is losing him a ton of time, and I do not understand how he did that to his tires. It's forever a mystery, I think, because, you know, I've never managed to do that to my tires before. Like my front tires, I've never been able to do that to my rear tires. I have, because I just usually go up to a wall and start shredding them. That's only for the rear tires. I have no idea how he destroyed his front tires. His front left is completely gone. And so he's just given up the position to Sam now. And according to the game, Sam is in second. And that is Spooky now pitting. And Valve is also pitting. Valve caught up to him quite a lot because of his very dead tires. Absolutely no idea how he managed to kill his front tires like that. What I do know is it lost him a ton of time. Rightio, so we don't have to look at these anymore. I don't think our front driver has pitted at all. He is not pitted, he is still going for it. Has he pitted? No, it should tell me if he pitted if I just check the damage. He has pitted, okay, so our driver in first has pitted. And the person behind him, would you believe it? Sam. Sam has made his way up, back to second. Because all the Porsche drivers in front of him have made big mistakes. He himself has made mistakes in a Porsche as well, so this whole race seems to be cursed for the Porsches. Because I think every single Porsche this session has made a mistake that has caused them to lose a ton of positions. See what Valve is doing, because he should be somewhat close to Spooky. Well, I think Spooky is escaping from him. The race will be coming to a close in about 13 laps. 14 laps. No, 13 laps. No, 14 laps. 14 laps. 14 laps to go. Which is like 14 laps, believe it or not. See, Spooky is quite close to Swin, so Swin overtook him. Although you would have expected that because of his... Oh, no, was that him? Velo is actually up at second. What happened to Sam? Okay, so Sam appears to have made another mistake, and he's now in third. I don't even know anymore. He pitted again. Okay, yeah, so I think he knew he had to pit again. So, yeah, he pitted again, because he pitted earlier, before the pit window opened, because he damaged something. Let's go check on Sideways, because Sideways is now in second after his mistake, and he's actually right on Nods. I don't think... Yeah, he hasn't pitted again, and he is supposed to pit again, but he has not done so. Let's just see how that goes. So he's fighting Nods, and he'll have to get ahead of Nods and far away from him to not be affected by that penalty. I assume there's a penalty for not pitting in the pit window, and I think that is what he will have now. If I'm wrong, whatever, that's fine. It's good for him. But it is a fight. Let me get out of this view. Just turn all of that off. Here is the fight for first in AM. It's been a while since we've seen a fight for first, and I'm quite glad to see a fight. Nods is defending it, and kind of just gives up that position to Sideways. Sideways gets good braking, but he had the outside line, so yeah, didn't really expect that to go too well for him. Ooh, and he's going to go for it again. He slightly taps Nods, but keeping it respectful, I presume. And he is still in second. Velo is catching them, so he's going to have to lap them again, which might impede their fight. They have a right to keep their lines, I think, while fighting. I would. About 11 laps to go. Sideways will have to get the braking perfect, and Nods is gonna go on the inside. What? I think his movement is a bit unnecessary, and he is opening up the gap for Sideways to go down the inside. It fails. It's a bit difficult to make a move, I think, on this track. Do you know if you can get that move done? Ooh, and Nods actually goes a little wide. And so he's gonna get an opportunity to slip down the inside if he wants to. He's not. So it is now a sandwich once again. Except it is a pro driver who's behind. Ooh, Sideways goes for it, but he does not have enough space. And they both respectfully let the pro driver through. And Nods goes a little wide, and Sideways is now catching up against Sam, who's on the hunt for second. Ooh, Nods goes wide and lets Sideways through. So I think they could comfortably let by the other Porsche, who's going to want to go by because he's fighting for second. And Nods going wide again. Sideways has nothing to worry about, he just has to escape. And Sam is let through very nicely, and he is on the chase for Velo. The gap is 2.2 seconds. Oh, wait a second. What's that? Spooky, spooky, spooky. It is very close between Spooky and I think that is Doohan. It is Doohan. He is very close to Doohan. And he even cuts the corner a little bit. They are both cutting corners, trying to get past each other. And Spooky just slides up the inside and gets that move down there. I don't know why this is in the way. Okay. So Doohan is going to try and get that position back. He is on the bumper, and he is going to go for the inside here. Can he make it stick? He's got 10 seconds worth of penalties, does Doohan. So I don't think that'll end well for him. 10 seconds worth of penalties is probably from the lots of cuts he made at the chicane we just saw as they were fighting for position. I cannot see Spooky's penalty time, so let's move up to Doohan so we can see Spooky's penalty time. Spooky has 8 seconds, so Spooky needs to stay within at least 2 seconds of Doohan to win on penalty time. Now, he won't win on track position, but you know, that's fine. He'll still get that 5th position if he sticks with him within 2 seconds. Let's hop on with Velo, who is being chased down by Sam. Not sure if they have enough laps to have a fight, but I just gotta hope. Check on our lonely driver here. He's pretty lonely. There's not much chasing him. Okay, well there is Doohan and Spooky coming for him, but I think they're a bit too far out. It is still a fight for a 5th here, and Doohan is going to try and run away with it. He just needs to extend that gap by at least 2 seconds to get that position. Ooh, slight lockup. Spooky is only 6/10 behind. I think he might still get that slipstream effect. I don't think so. I'm not too sure from that distance. The slipstream is not very strong in this game, but it's there. Yeah, okay, so Doohan has pulled away a bit from Spooky. Spooky is now 1.4 seconds behind. And Swin is actually being caught up by the driver behind in the GTE Pro car. They are both in GTE Pro, and they're maybe gonna have a fight for fourth. Actually, no, they're not gonna have a fight for fourth. Here's a 10-second penalty. I don't think Swin has anything near that. I could check by going up to Sam. Hopefully I can see. I cannot. Sam UK still has that fastest lap. Let's go to Duan to see if I can see the penalty sign on the BMW headwind. It is not going to show me, so we'll just have to assume that Swin up ahead does not have a penalty as massive as the driver behind. Race is almost over. It's been a good race, I'd say. Good couple of fights. He is getting quite close to Velo. Will it be enough? They have about 4 laps to go. Or 5 laps, I guess. Okay, I forgot to check the gap. And Valve has actually dropped down to 7th in his class. I forgot to check the gap again. Oh my god. I keep forgetting to check the gap. Okay, I should be able to see it here. So it is a 2-second gap. Okay, yeah, I don't know if he can make up 2 seconds in those few laps, but you know, maybe he can. Maybe he can do some magic. Let us head over to the first place in GTE AM at the moment. Nods is quite a bit behind him, but I don't know, 3 seconds. I can't really see because it just says +1 lap. Yeah, sideways, he has made a good gap to the driver behind. So I think if he can extend a little bit, he will avoid the not pitting penalty. Because he did pit just before the pit window for damages, and he didn't pit during the pit window, so, you know, I suspect he'll get a penalty. I'm not too sure how big that penalty will be. I'll slow down a bit. He did a 52.1 on that last lap, but he is 24 seconds ahead of the nearest driver, so he is cruising right now. I'd imagine he's relaxing. I mean, he has a lot of time. He's earned that relaxation time. He's you know, he's taking it home currently by a pretty long margin, by about a bit less than half a lap. He is ahead of the nearest driver. That is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty crazy. There is something happening. Let's see where Valve is. So Valve is fighting Kruval, and Kruval has just lapped him. Okay, so we have a fight between the lapped Valve and the current leader, Kruval. This is for GTE Pro. These drivers are both in GTE Pro, as you can see by their number boards. All the Porsches have made a pretty valiant effort, I'd say, to keep in a good position despite all their unlucky troubles. Yeah, you know, I'm telling you, right, there was a total Porsche curse this whole race. I think it is the last lap for Kruval. It is definitely Kruval's last lap. And if he keeps this up without making any mistakes, it is a nice, easy cruise to the finish line. Let's watch him do his little victory lap. We'll turn off gamer tags. Still sort of being chased by Valve there. Valve in the background just eating his dust. Very unfortunate for Valve there. Bova. and he rounds the last corner to win at Lime Rock. He's the winner of the 100 miles of Lime Rock. Wow. What a cruel thing to do. Just win the race by 24 seconds. Congratulations to him for that very dominant victory. And here comes our second place driver, who I'd say has done a good job of recovering the car after whatever happened to him during the Clio curse, and he finishes second and Sam finishes third. Here comes Duan to finish in fourth, and the driver behind him, Swin, to finish in fifth. Spooky finishes sixth, he crosses the line there. Valve is coming for his 7th place finish. Mini still has a lap to go. Let's go hop on with our still driving AM cars. So I don't know if our AM cars are going to be able to finish the race before the timer ends. I think they might be able to be finishers instead of DNFs. Wow, there's some damage on the front of his car there. But yeah, so I don't think he has finished yet. He still has a bit to go. Let's check. Yeah, so sideways, he is almost there. He goes wide. Who is that ahead of him? Is that? It's not Nods. Okay, Zewan's car. So he is also gonna lap Ewan, I think. Sideways is about 800 meters from the finish. He rounds the final corner, and potentially this is a win for him. I do not know because of the penalty related stuff. I still think he might get a penalty for not putting in the pit window. Not too sure, I'll just have to ask Valve. And Nods here is going through the final 2 corners to claim second on track. So a good job to him as well. Good job to the first and second drivers in AM. They had a pretty nice battle. And unfortunately for Law, who could have won this race, he disconnected unfortunately. So yeah. Pretty disastrous for most people who competed in this race.